Hello and welcome to this how-to video from Award-Winning Outdoors at awardwinning94.wordpress.com. Today I'm going to talk about how to fix a drippy faucet by replacing the washer within the faucet. I will say up front that I'm talking specifically about faucet styles that have two knobs or two levers. If you happen to have the faucet style with a single lever or a single knob in the middle, they work a little bit differently. And so what I'm going to talk about in this video may not actually apply to your faucet. Actually, it won't apply to your faucet. So your first step is going to be to turn off the water. And a lot of sinks will have someplace under the vanity a valve like this. May look a little different, but that will turn water off to the individual hot or cold water knob that you are trying to repair. Unfortunately, it's very common that these valves are old and they either will not turn or they do, but they don't really shut the water off. So if you run into the situation where you try to shut the valve under your sink off and it doesn't turn the water off, you can verify that by turning the faucet on, and if it's still dripping or running, you know you did not successfully shut it off. Or a lot of times, like showers and bathtubs, do not have a shut-off valve because all the plumbing is behind the wall. So in that case, you're going to need to find the main water valve for your house. Mine comes in through the basement, and years ago I actually wrote right on the basement wall next to it so anybody would know that's the shut-off valve. You can also go out by the street and shut it off at the water valve box outside if you have the appropriate wrench and know how to do that. So to do any repair or home improvement type of job, one of the first things to do is to assemble whatever you're going to need to do the job. And this should be hopefully everything I need. I've got an assortment of washers here to replace. There's different styles and sizes. I found almost all of mine are pretty much the same, and actually most of what's in this little drawer you see there is not going to be useful to me, but I've got what I think I need. Pair of pliers, probably don't need them, but it may be necessary for getting pieces apart. And then the two primary tools will be a crescent wrench or similar and a screwdriver, and the particular screwdriver I picked for today is an adjustable one where you can flip the tips around, flip the whole shaft around, and have Phillips or standard in a couple different sizes, and that way you don't have to run back to the tool chest for another one. So for the demonstration today, I'm going to use a shower faucet because I think it'll be a little easier to show you. I've popped out this little plastic centerpiece in the shower knob there. That covers up a screw that is inside. Oh, and I should mention I did turn the water off at the main valve since there isn't an easy way to get the shower turned off otherwise. There's a Phillips screw in there, and when you pull that, this whole knob will just slip off. There's this splined shaft here. The cover comes off. And then in this case, there's also a metal part here that just unscrews. That's just basically cosmetic, but it unscrews, and set that aside. And then this is actually the shaft or the core of the valve itself. I'm going to use my adjustable wrench here, turn it down there, and this will just unscrew. Oh good, and it actually works. I say just unscrewed, and then I figured it would probably be stuck. This is actually a fairly new one. It went bad at some point in the past and I had to replace the whole thing. So my hand will be in the way a little bit, but I will pull that out. You can hear a little bit of water sucking down there as it drains into the basement. There we go, kind of stuck. So you should hopefully be able to see on the video here, and I'll hold it up a little closer, this rubber part is actually the washer. And I don't know how well it'll show, but it is really squashed down there. So I'm going to take this Phillips screw out and replace the washer. So here's the washer that came out, and if you look at it, it's really squashed. It's a wonder that shut off any water at all. I've replaced it with a new washer, which if you can see actually is a little bit convex there and actually sticks out. I'm going to stick that back in the hole, and then this part will screw into place. That doesn't have to be super duper tight, but you need a wrench just to kind of make sure it's good and snug. The grubby looking chrome cosmetic part screws back on top. The cosmetic collar goes back in place, and that covers up the hole as well. The knob slips back onto this blind shaft there. I was just wondering where the screw was. It fell out to show me. That screw will go in the middle of the shaft, or the middle of the knob. Screws onto the shaft. Again, doesn't have to be super tight. This will open and close now. I will pop the little plastic piece back in the middle that's got the H on it to tell you this is hot water. And that one's popped out enough times I'll probably have to put a drop of silicone or something to hold it. But that's it. That washer is replaced, and when I turn my water back on in the basement, it should shut it off without having to super crank down on it. That's really all there is to replacing a faucet washer. So I hope you enjoyed this and find it helpful. If you would, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and then you can see more helpful hints and how-to videos like this in the future. I appreciate you watching.